Welcome back to On Air B&B Football with Brandon and Bryce. Bryce and Brandon, thank you for coming back and watching us on YouTube, listening to us on Spotify, whatever you're doing. We appreciate it. Before we get into the video, please help us reach our goal where we want to be able to talk to you, the fans, the players, and the coaches. We want to come out to the stadiums, tailgate, have fun, whether it's NFL or college. But most of all, we want to bring you better content while doing it. You can help us reach this channel goal by just clicking the like button and hitting the subscribe button. Please do us that favor. And Bryce, let's go ahead and get into the video. So today we're coming at you with some popular trade talk. That trade is to my boys, the Kansas City Chiefs, DeAndre Hopkins from the I was about to say Texans.
Texans.
From the Titans for a 5th round pick that could be a 4th round pick based off of if we make the Super Bowl and D-Hop plays 60% of the snaps.
Yeah.
Which it'll be a 4th rounder. I don't know, Bryce. What outside of a Chiefs fan's perspective, I want to know your take on this first.
So I know everybody who woke up to it at like 7 a.m. was, had their morning ruined basically. So, but the thing is, the way I look at it is D-Hop's still a good, solid receiver, but he isn't what he was maybe 3 to 4 years ago. Like still what he was doing on Arizona and even on the Texans. He's not that receiver anymore. He's definitely going to help Kansas City, have a reliable pass catcher for Patrick Mahomes that they really haven't consistently had this year. And then it also takes maybe a little bit of pressure off of Kelsey. But I'm not like overly scared about D-Hop being on the Chiefs or anything like that. Like I'm not at all, but he's a little bit older. If he was, as good as he would be, they wouldn't have given up they would have had to give up a higher pick. So it is a good trade for the Chiefs. It's what they, were kind of lacking, what they need. But as a not a Chiefs fan or anything, but like I'm not too scared about the trade to D-Hop.
Right. See, I think from my perspective, I think I'd probably be a little bit more excited if D-Hop didn't have a partially torn MCL that he's been playing on the whole year, and he's going to come in because this has been our problem this year is injuries. So what do? Go out and get a 32-year-old veteran who, yeah, he's still good, but he has a partially torn MCL.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that if you're going to put him in the Rashee Rice role, which is probably the goal, and that where Juju took over and did that, I think that's where he goes into slot. And if you're putting him in that role, to have that kind of injury in that role, I think it's just hoping for another re-injury.
Yeah.
Where you're back to square one without next year's 4th round pick. So I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. For the price that we paid for him, I like the trade.
Yeah.
It's a 1 year.
Tennessee's paying most of the money too.
Right.
You only got to pay him. You guys only have to pay him $3.2 million.
Right, for the price tag of who he is, because he's still a 1,000-yard receiver, I believe. I think he can reach that at least, maybe 800 and some yards. But either way, it helps us out. So I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit excited for it, but at the same time, I'm not looking for it to make like a massive difference, kind of like you in that sense.
Yeah.
But I just think it's another piece to maybe help us convert the 3rd downs, maybe get a little better in the red zone because we've struggled there this year. And as for who I think it would affect the most on the offensive side is Travis Kelce. I think that.
Think it affects it in a good way?
No. Well, way? I think that, it goes back to how the offense looked when Rashee Rice was there, at least until D-Hop gets hurt again, which is kind of what I'm preparing for with that injury that he already has. But, we all expected Travis Kelce to get a higher volume, higher target volume, and, maybe come back to the Kelce that we knew of before. But adding D-Hop is just going right back to the same thing that, when you saw Juju come in and play and get that 130-yard game, that's what it's going to look like for Kelce. He's going to have like a couple good catches, but he's not going to be the volume Kelce that we've always known.
Yeah.
He's not going to be good for fantasy. It's a steady offense. And honestly, like you look at Mahomes' stats where he's thrown 6 touchdowns and 8 picks. Well, half of those picks probably aren't his fault. Don't get me wrong. He's still not playing the greatest, but when they just continue to run it into the end zone with Kareem Hunt because he's running like he is, I think that adding D-Hop is just going to be, another piece to help us keep getting wins and squeaking them out like we have been. So, but I think that's it for us today. That wraps it up for the D-Hop talk. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for listening on YouTube and Spotify, whatever you're doing. We appreciate it. Please help us reach our goal once again, where we want to be able to talk to you, the fans, the players, and the coaches. We want to come to the stadium's tailgate, whether it's NFL or college, have fun and do all that good stuff, but most of all, bring you better content while doing it. You can help us reach that goal by just clicking the like button, the subscribe button, and share with everybody you know, whether they like football or not, because they sure as hell gonna like some D Hop on the Chiefs. Maybe not most
They're
people,
not.
but
Yeah, they're not gonna like
I'm
that.
gonna like it. I'm gonna
You're
like it
like
for
it.
sure. But thank you guys. Leave in the comments what you thought. What do you think of the D Hop trade? And leave in the comments what you want to see for future videos as well. Thank you guys.